Guys, this is Jay Kaushal, writer, motivation speaker, and life coach. And today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic. I had been actually thinking about talking about Vastu for a while because it is as relevant as Vedic astrology. It is as relevant as numerology because the external environment is as important as the internal machinery, as the internal spiritual blueprint, right? And so, one very important question that is often asked in terms of Vastu is are southwest facing houses, that is, houses that have their entrance in the southwest, are they good or bad? Because usually southwest facing houses are given a strict, they're a strict no-no according to Vastu. And quite a few people have a lot of things to say that might actually scare you with respect to this. And so, what's the reality? Look, first of all, you have to understand that Vastu is it's a very intricate science once again of design, and at least for the northern hemisphere, it makes a lot of sense. For the southern hemisphere, how much sense it makes, I'll have to what do you say, do more research to be able to conclusively tell you. But in terms of the northern hemisphere, it makes a lot of sense. So here's the thing: the sun moves across the south in the sky as it rises in the east and it sets in the west in the northern hemisphere, right? And so that is why if you spend a lot of time in farms, you would know that moss grows on the north side because the north side hardly gets any kind of sunlight, right? And so if you have a house that has its entrance in the south or the southwest, then what does it mean? It would mean that the back side of the house would probably not get any sunlight at all. Okay? And so if you were to put windows there, they would not get the necessary quality of sunlight that is required. What are you going to do? You're going to keep the main door open to get the necessary sunlight that you want? No. Okay? So that is why this is one logic that I'm logically able to think. That is why south, southwest, southeast are not really considered the best directions for the entrance of a house to be. Okay? Now, there's another thing here. See, in the same way that you have the Kala Purush, in Vedic astrology, the chart that we make, Kal Purush Kundli, you have the Vastu Purush design as part of Vastu. And so it is said that the Vastu Purush was this gigantic, powerful being who was creating a lot of havoc in the world. And so, he was expelled from heaven, and the Devas actually had to pin him down. And by pinning him down, they were able to contain his energy. And since then, his energy, there's a diagram coming on the screen. You can see it right here. Look at this diagram. Now, since the time that he was pinned down, what has basically happened is that, I think it's a way to simplify things, every corner of the house, every direction is associated with a particular energy. Now, if you look at the southwest corresponds to the feet of the Vastu Purush. Now, think logically. If I were to time and again and again, just ask you to stand on one leg, right, or jump or skip, how much stability would you feel? You won't really feel very stable, would you? So the southwest is a direction. Actually, if you look at it from Vedic astrology as well, it corresponds to the eighth house in the chart. The Devi in the southwest is Goddess Niritti. And Niritti is a goddess of death and decay. Southwest is actually a direction which is required to be kept as stable as possible. This is the direction where Ketu becomes exalted. This is the direction where it's the best place for Lord Ganesh to be. Because southwest corresponds to everything that you don't know. That's a mystery. And so southwest houses are actually not that bad depending on your chart if you want to bring about a huge transformation in your life. and you stay in these houses for only a limited period of time, provided all the other things in the house are good. For somebody who practices the occult, for somebody who's into research, for somebody who could even, let's say, be a surgeon, a southwest house, or somebody who works in finance or insurance, dealing with other people's money, southwest may not be that bad a direction. But as I said, energetically, you have to keep in mind that southwest is a direction which corresponds to the feet of the Vastu Purush. And so every direction also in Vastu is associated with a particular elemental energy. So the southwest is the energy that is associated with the earth element. You want the southwest to be stable. In your home, you want the southwest direction to not have swimming pools, because swimming pools involve digging the dirt out and filling it with water. You want to grow trees in the southwest, however. You want to have heavy machinery in that direction. You want to have storage in that direction. Okay? So you can have stairs there. Okay? But digging out the earth, making it lighter, is not considered the best, because energetically it is said that the southwest should be kept as stable as possible. Now, summing everything up, so if you want to create a huge change in your life, you can shift into a southwest apartment for a while, provided everything else, as I said, there's a rider here, is great in that house and it corresponds with your chart. But if you, and it might even be possible that you actually get windfalls in a southwest home. But the southwest has a dual nature associated with it. It can suddenly bring you great energy, and it can suddenly destroy everything. So I have often seen it with clients when I have interviewed them, when I have looked at, because this is also something that I do as part of my evaluation when I do sessions. People who have lived in southwest houses for a long period of time, in the beginning stages things can be great, and then suddenly things tend to spiral, and sudden events begin to shake them out of their foundation. Now, there's a remedies for that. There's a way that you can correct it. You cannot completely correct it. I'm sorry, it's just one of those places where, because southwest is a direction that you cannot win against. Niritti is just a very fearsome goddess who will give you all of the access to secrets and mysteries, but it's not an energy, it's not a direction that you can control. Anyways, there is, however, a remedy for it. In the entrance, as soon as you enter a southwest house, southwest door, in the entrance, place a statue of Lord Ganpati, and it should be a technically correct statue of Lord Ganpati. It should not be one of those artistic statues in which they make it whichever way they want. No, the technically correct depiction of Lord Ganesh is this. Take a look at it. Okay? Now, if you can place an idol of Lord Ganesh on the inside, facing inside, at least, I would say, at least 3 feet in height. At least. If you can, spend money and get an idol which is 5 feet, 6 feet in height, that can be amazing. Okay? And if you can get one in bronze, that can be spectacular. But obviously, if you're not able to afford that, you could go with, POP. You could go with something else, right? That is one of the best remedies for a southwest-facing house. Why? Because Lord Ganesh is the heaviest in the universe. Okay, he is the wisest. He is the heaviest. And actually, this is something which I remember long ago reading, I think, in one of Pawan Sinha's articles. So, my mother was very fond of Vastu, and quite often, there were articles that used to come in Times of India, long ago. There's a newspaper in India, and I used to read them. So that's where I got this association with Lord Ganpati, but it makes sense also in many ways, because Lord Ganpati is connected with Ketu. Ketu is exalted in the 8th. The eighth house is actually all mysteries and fear, and the way to overcome them is wisdom, which is associated with Lord Ganpati. And this particular remedy I have seen has worked very well for all of the people that I have advised. Okay, so yeah, I am gonna be making more videos on Vastu now. Do tell me what you think about this one. As a final verdict, are southwest facing houses bad? Not necessarily, but I would not recommend staying in a southwest facing house for a long or an extended period of time. You want to make a change in your life, make that change, and that's it. Move out, transform. Okay? So, guys, that's my analysis on southwest facing houses. I'm going to be doing more of these videos, so stay connected with me. Subscribe to this channel, push the bell icon, and if you want to, you can join this channel to access exclusive live streams, videos, tutorials, and readings from Vedic texts. If you want to inquire about my holistic life coaching program, there's a link below. Also, if you want to apply to my astro-life-coaching practitioner course, you'll find the link below. Until next time, see you. Hari Om.